Do you always feel that you lack confidence? Do you know somebody who radiates confidence and you envy them? Have you ever wished that you had more confidence? My name's Nicola McLeod and I support people with their own home-based network marketing business to success. If you'd like to have more content like this delivered to you regularly, then please hit the subscribe button. You know, I have lots of conversations with people about confidence. They know what they want, but they feel that they lack the confidence to be able to do it, and I don't know if you can relate to that. I had to look up the definition of the word confidence in preparing this video, and it says it's the feeling or the belief that you can have faith in or rely on someone or something. So the fact that you can rely on somebody, they give you confidence that they're reliable, that you can believe in them. When we look at confident people, they often are quite assertive, they're more optimistic, they're often winners, and they're quite abstract in their thinking. Confident people tend to be risk takers, and they're less reactive to stress. Now, that sounds like something that all of us would like to be. And I've often been told that I'm quite a confident person. But that makes me laugh, it really does, because actually on the inside I don't think I'm any different to anybody else. There's a video that I did about rejection that talks about how you choose to react and respond to things. I'll link it at the end of this video so you can take a look at it. And I think that confidence is very much linked to how you respond, which is why I said that on the inside I don't think I'm that different to anybody else, even though people say that I'm very confident. I think on the inside I probably have as many doubts in myself and my abilities and what I'm capable of, but it's how I choose to respond to those thoughts that I think makes a difference of where people believe that I'm confident. So how does that work then? Well, there's this saying, isn't there? Fake it until you make it. It's a great saying, isn't it? But is there any truth in it? I'll tell you a little story that made me question how true this statement could be. Fake it till you make it. In a previous role, I used to do a lot of presentations in front of big audiences. So it could be 40 people, it could be 100 people, it could be 500 people. And even though I enjoyed presenting, I was as nervous as anything and felt that I lacked confidence to be myself when I was on that big stage. I didn't really know how to overcome that. And I felt that everybody could see how nervous I was. I could find myself like short of breath and like, oh my God, how am I going to even get my words out? All of those feelings that I think we all dread feeling, and why most people won't go onto a big stage like that and present. And I was looking for different ways that I might be able to overcome it. Ways that I could bring out more of myself. And I think it's quite natural that we look to people who we admire, who we think have got it cracked, to see what we can learn from them on how to do it. Now, there was this one particular event that I was presenting at, and this lady that I really admired that thought, from my perspective, when I saw her present, she was the most confident person that I'd ever seen present. She just had this air about her that was just rock solid and kind of the opposite to how I felt inside. And I was presenting straight after her at this particular event. So I was backstage just before she went on. And I saw something that really surprised me. And I mean, like, you could have knocked me over with a feather. Just before she went on, she took a couple of drops of Rescue Remedy. Now, I'd never heard of the stuff before, but basically it's something to help calm your nerves. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. My hero, the person that I thought was the most confident person that ever walked the planet, was feeling the same things I was feeling. So do you know what I did? Just before I went on, I took some of her magic drops. Do you know what? It made a difference. It made a huge difference. Now, I'll never know whether it was the magic drops or whether it's just because I thought I had a little bit of her magic that was helping me to be more confident. But from that moment on, I had a different perception of how I was going to feel. I never used those drops again, but I felt much more confident in presenting. I learned that the first 30 seconds to a minute, I was going to feel as nervous as anything. But if I pushed through that actually I started to relax and was much more myself. All of this just because I saw somebody who I thought was amazing felt the same way that I did. It gave me the belief in this fake it till you make it. And in fact, I think I'll turn that on its head. Do it enough until you become it. Because that's what I did with presenting in public. I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it until I became somebody who could present. And I think that's what confidence is about. Confidence is about practicing something enough times that you're able to be really good at it. And if you only ever stop at the first step and never go any further, then you're never going to get the practice in and you're never going to feel confident in what you do. It's great advice to fake it until you make it. Because actually that's what most of us do. Confidence, I think, is a misconception the majority of the time. Most of the time, most of us are making it up as we go along and hoping we get away with it. And then someone comes up to you and says, oh my God, you said this amazing thing to me. And I'm like, did I? Actually, it was just something that I came out with. But perception of where I am, perception of how confident I am, is really different to how I feel inside. When I was looking into things that I could share with you about confidence, I came across a great TED Talks video. I do like TED Talks. And it was by, what was the lady's name? Amy Cuddy. I'll put a link in the description to the video that I'm talking about. I think it's about 15 minutes long. And it was really interesting. And it was talking about body language and some science behind how body language can change our minds. What she was talking about was our bodies, the body language can change our mind, and our mind can change our behaviour, and our behaviour changes the outcome. And it was actually really fascinating. She was talking about these things called power poses, and I found it fascinating. Do take a look at the video. But it was saying how actually you can impact how confident you feel by changing your body language before you go and do something. And I thought a really good analogy was the one I think a lot of people are familiar with, was if you're having a conversation with somebody on the phone, smile down the phone because you'll sound happier. And I know that's true. I absolutely know that's true because I do it all the time. You know, if I've got a face on me when I'm calling somebody, I know I'm going to come across as being miserable. But if I'm smiling, then I know that I'm quite contagious. And I think the body language thing was really interesting, and I tried it out myself. And it's things like just standing with your hands on your hips, or having like a really open pose like this, and doing that for a couple of minutes before you go and do something that you feel nervous about. And it is amazing the difference that it makes. Really, really amazing. Give it a try yourself, because I think at the end of the day, confidence is all in your mind. It's all in your mind. You can feel more confident about anything by playing around with your mind. There's a great book by Susan Jeffers, this, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And I think that's the sort of closing thought that I'd want to give you on confidence, is all of us feel the fear. All of us are scared of doing something new. All of us feel that not inside of us, the doubts, all of those feelings. But your choice is about whether you do it anyway despite those feelings. I do think it's a complete misconception that somebody that you think of that's confident doesn't have those doubts, doesn't have those fears, doesn't have those feelings inside. It's not true. They're there, but it's what you choose to do in spite of them that makes the difference. Something from that book is about, if you do the thing that you're scared of, it does make the fear go. The fear stays because you've not done it. But once you've done it, then you're less scared of it. Great analogy, I'd say, is I have an irrational fear of spiders. And funnily enough, the more I avoid them, the more scared I get of them. But the other thing that's really quite entertaining, if I steel myself and I make myself pick a spider up, I'm not actually scared. That's the silly thing. All of the fear is before touching the spider. None of the fear is afterwards. Give it a go yourself. I'm not suggesting you go and pick a spider up. I'm just saying, give it a go. Do something that you're scared of and you'll be surprised how you feel like Wonder Woman after doing it. Thank you for listening to this video, and if you'd like to see more content, please hit the subscribe button.